The music is made by my friend Ferrosphere, and as is all the art that you're seeing right now. Yeah, Lurk Not a Lie, I incorporated the scrolling goal thing that you made all that time ago. I just changed the color styling on it. The game is keyboard or controller support, so it's probably a little more intuitive to play on a controller, or you can just use like Z and X, escape and space with either WSD or arrow keys. So, okay, it's water aspect. I want that. I don't want the earth aspect. Earthquake is a pretty good opening move. And the reason I want to start with Earthquake is because then I can use Arcane Lock, actually. So that's going to keep water as the next phase. And yes, the Skelly is back. But it just worked out so perfectly that we had this skeleton and like evil mage character. Okay, so we don't have a lot to work with here, and I do want Void as my next turn, so I'm going to ignore most of these. And let's go with just a regular stab here. And yeah, we're going to pass. Yeah, this is a character sprite that I did a while ago. That hurt. Void is really cool because every card I spend, I get another card back in my hand. But I don't want to maintain Void into the next turn. I want the next turn to be Light aspect, because Light gives me an ability to heal. Okay, so that pulled in Blazing Bolt, which is perfect, because I need Blazing Bolt to kill the skeleton. But I wasn't careful, and that ended up switching the aspect over to Fire. Fire I have to be careful with, because every point of mana deals damage to me, and I'm already super close to dead. So I'm actually just going to pass my turn and hope for Light. Yeah, I don't want to deal any damage to myself. But of course that means the Necromancer had the ability to raise a skeleton. Okay, so we've got a lot of cards in hand, which means we're going to have to discard if we don't spend them at the end of this turn. I'm going to go ahead and hit them with Blazing Bolt first. That healed me for 5, and then I'm going to do a Stabilizing Strike because I want to keep Light up for next turn. Okay. But the Necromancer made me discard my entire hand. I should have been paying attention to what its intent was. Okay. So we're on to Void. Well, we only got one card in hand, so Blazing Bolts, let's go for it. And ouch, I'm pretty close to dead here. And in Fire, I don't want to spend either of these. Set the current aspect as Night. I kind of do want that. No, because the next turn is Light, and I want Light. Okay, go ahead and raise them. Alright. Let's start with gaining 5 mana. And then let's draw some cards. And now I'm going to use Blazing Bolt. That heals me a little bit. And I want set current aspect as Night. I do want that. Okay, and then set next aspect as Water? Yes. Okay, so take some damage. Still barely hanging in here. Angel's Arrow, that's going to be real nice. Yes. Yeah, we're just going to go in for an Angel's Arrow. But then I took damage and died. Okay. Unsuccessful. Yeah, it is heavily contingent on what you end up drawing as to whether you can succeed or fail at this game. But let's open with drawing some cards. And let's go ahead and deal 3 damage. I want to maintain the aspect for sure. Winds of Change is also a good setup, and I'll do a stab next turn. Actually, yes. I do want to set up Winds of Change. because as nice as it is to have the extra card draw from the water aspect, now that I'm in the air phase, this physical damage deals magical damage instead, which is going to make it easier to kill the skeleton. So the next aspect is water. Yeah, we definitely want that. Actually, let's set it currently to night. I should have started with that. And then water is next, and now I can deal 3 damage, and that's enough to kill the skeleton. Perfect. Okay. So let's start by gaining... No. Start with Nightfall. Because Nightfall means that it immediately becomes nighttime, and then I can... When I spend that card, I immediately draw another. So let's deal 3 damage. This is perfect, because hitting the Necromancer... with physical damage, the Necromancer doesn't have a resistance against physical. Okay. Next aspect is light. I already have, so that would be pointless. I don't want to maintain the current aspect. I do want some healing, so let's just keep using Bash to draw cards. Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna maintain Void because I just really want that damage on the Necromancer. So now he's gonna make me discard my entire hand, which is lame. But, you know, I programmed it, so that's my bad. I want to hit this skeleton with Blazing Bolts, because that's going to really take it down, but I need to consider my hand carefully. So I need to start with Second Wind, and then I'm going to do Blazing Bolt. Actually, wait. Stabilizing Strike? Maybe. I think the next thing I do is definitely Blazing Bolt. And Stabilizing Strike... Well, he's going to make me discard my entire hand, so really it's just a question of what do I want left. So with 4 mana left, I can do... Divine Tear might be nice. So I could do... Do I want to stay in Void? Yes, I do, because here's the thing. If it's Void, the Necromancer will make me discard my entire hand. Because it's Void, I redraw all the cards that I would have been forced to discard. Because I thought that's an awesome combination and I wanted to make sure to code that in. So hopefully it works. We're going to find out. So let's just focus on dealing damage and not worry about the discard. So let's go ahead and get another card in hand. Yeah, my hand is like overflowing now. And I want to... Do I want the next aspect to be light? Yes, this is my GMTK jam game. I can Alt-Tab out of here and share the link if you're interested in trying it out. Also, as I mentioned, like in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be wrapping up for now, and we'll find somebody to raid. But I will be back in an hour and doing more interviews and trying other people's games. I just had a little bit of time at the end of this jam, so I figured, or the end of this stream, so I figured I'd try and win at my own game, because I haven't done it yet. I've got a lot of options here. Do I want to stay in Void? Probably. Well, I'm going to lose everything in my hand. So the next aspect is light. Or the next aspect is Void, which is more important? Yeah, don't worry. Like, you can show off your game. Just use the submit form. Okay. So it is really down to luck and maybe a lot of thinking. Okay, so I think we're not terrible on health. So I'm just going to maintain the Void. And I need to discard, it doesn't really matter what I discard because I just lost my whole hand, but because it's Void, I redraw my whole hand. So that's cool. So let's, I think I open with Earthquake because that makes them both die. And now I'm going to use a Bash. Okay, I've got a lot of cards in hand, but I want to use Arcane Lock as the last thing, because then it sets the next turn to Void, and I can get rid of this Earthquake. No, Earthquake's really good, actually. I want to keep Bash. I want to keep the Blazing Bolts to bring this to kill the skeleton. I don't need 3 Blazing Bolts though. I'll get rid of one of these. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I've got to play carefully. Earth is the next turn. I do not want that. He's going to spend a turn resing the skeleton. It'll be better to use that then. Let's start with bashing to draw another card. And then there's a stab. I might win here. And then a stabilizing strike and I win. There we go. Totally possible. You just have to think really carefully. All right.